Have you ever stared at a financial chart and seen those colorful lines weaving beneath the prices? They look like an EKG of the market, a secret code that only Wall Street geniuses can read. But what if I told you that not only is it not a secret code, but by the end of this video, you'll start to understand its language? Today, we're kicking off a journey. A six-part series designed to make you not just a user, but a true connoisseur of one of the most iconic and powerful tools in technical analysis, the moving average convergence divergence indicator, or as we all know it, the MACD. In this first chapter, we're going back to its origins. We'll discover the brilliant mind who created it, why he did it, and most importantly, we will dismantle this indicator piece by piece, like an engineer taking apart an engine for the first time. By the end, every line and every bar will have a clear meaning for you. Are you ready? Let's dial in. Our story begins in the late 1970s. The world was a very different place. There was no high-speed internet in every home, no trading apps on our phones. Charts were often drawn by hand or printed on thermal paper. In this environment, an analyst and money manager named Gerald Appel was grappling with a fundamental challenge that has haunted traders since the dawn of markets. How can I create a tool that tells me not only where the market is going, but how strongly it's going there? He wanted something that was simple to interpret at a glance, yet offered profound insight into both market trend and momentum. Apple's goal was ambitious, to combine two crucial concepts, trend and momentum, into a single visual indicator. The trend is the market's general direction, like the ocean's tide. Is it rising or falling? Momentum is the force or speed of that tide. Is it gaining strength or weakening? Many indicators of that era focused on one or the other, but rarely both. Apple wanted the Swiss Army knife of technical analysis, and thus the MACD was born. One of Appel's first strokes of genius was its presentation. Unlike other indicators that are overlaid directly on the price, creating visual clutter, the MACD is what we call an oscillator. It's plotted in its own clean, separate window, usually below the main chart. This allows us to focus on its message without distraction. Now, let's build it together. The MACD is made of three key elements, three characters in this play that we need to know intimately. This is the soul, the heart of the indicator. It's our protagonist. Its calculation might sound technical, but the idea behind it is sublimely elegant. The MACD line is calculated by subtracting a long-term exponential moving average, or EMA, from a short-term EMA. The standard settings, the ones you'll see by default on almost every platform, are 12 and 26 periods. Think of the 12-period EMA as a sprinter, agile and reactive to recent price changes. The 26-period EMA is like a marathon runner, slower, representing the more established trend. By subtracting the marathon runner from the sprinter, what do we get? We get the difference between the short-term expectation and the long-term trend. This difference is the MACD line. So what does this line tell us? It's simple. When the MACD line is above the zero line, it means our sprinter, the 12 EMA, is ahead of the marathon runner, the 26 EMA. This suggests that short-term momentum is bullish. The market has positive energy. Conversely, when the MACD line falls below the zero line, the sprinter has fallen behind. Momentum is bearish. The zero line, therefore, isn't just any line. It's the border, the equator that separates bullish from bearish territory in terms of momentum. It's our first major clue about the state of the market. If the MACD line is our protagonist, the signal line is its wise advisor. Gerald Appel realized that the MACD line, being so reactive, could be a bit erratic. It needed to be smoothed out to generate more reliable signals and avoid market noise. The solution was, again, elegantly simple. The signal line is just a 9-period exponential moving average of the MACD line itself. Pay close attention here. This is a crucial detail many beginners miss. The signal line doesn't look at the asset's price. It looks at the MACD line. Its sole purpose is to act as a slower average of the main line. And what's the purpose of this advisor? Its function is to be a trigger. The most basic and well-known events of the MACD, the buy and sell signals, are generated precisely when our protagonist, the MACD line, crosses its advisor, the signal line. We'll talk extensively about these crossovers in our next video, but for now, hold on to this idea. The signal line is the benchmark against which we measure the immediate moves of the MACD line. They are the indicator's dynamic duo. And here, my friends, we arrive at what many consider to be the MACD's crown jewel. The histogram is a work of visual art. It's the component that gives us an instant snapshot of the power dynamic between the MACD line and the signal line. Its calculation is, once again, a simple subtraction. Histogram equals MACD line minus signal line. The histogram is nothing more than a graphic representation of the distance between our two lines. But its implication is monumental. The histogram is our momentum speedometer. It tells us not just if momentum is positive or negative, but whether it's accelerating or decelerating. Think of it this way. When the histogram bars are above the zero line and getting taller, it means the MACD line is pulling away, winning the race against the signal line. Bullish momentum is accelerating. It's like pressing down on the gas pedal. When the bars start to shrink, moving back toward the zero line, even if they're still positive, it's shouting a warning. The MACD line is losing its lead. Bullish momentum is decelerating. The car is still moving forward, but we've taken our foot off the gas. This is an early, subtle sign of potential exhaustion. The same is true in negative territory. When the red bars get deeper below zero, bearish momentum is accelerating. And when they start to shrink, rising toward the zero line, the selling panic is losing steam. The histogram, therefore, allows us to anticipate. We can see the deceleration of momentum before the lines even cross. It's the most leading component of the indicator, and professional traders pay obsessive attention to it. So, let's recap what we've learned today. The MACD isn't a crystal ball, it's an incredibly well-designed control panel. It gives us a sense of the overall trend, simply by looking at whether the MACD line is above or below its zero line, bullish or bearish territory. It generates trading signals through crossovers between the MACD line and the signal line, which we will explore in depth. It measures the acceleration of momentum through the histogram, our speedometer, which tells us if the current trend is gaining or losing strength in real time. And, as we'll see in future videos, it helps us detect potential turning points in the market through a fascinating concept called divergences. Gerald Appel didn't just create an indicator, he created a language to interpret market psychology. A language that combines trend, impulse, and acceleration into a single window. We've laid the first stone. You now know the anatomy of the MACD, the function of each of its parts. It's no longer a secret code, but a set of logical tools waiting to be used. But knowing the tools is just the beginning. In our next video, we'll take the crucial next step, practical application. We'll learn to interpret the MACD's most famous trading signals, the crossovers. We'll look at real examples of when a signal is strong and when it is a trap. We'll also talk honestly about the indicator's strengths and, more importantly, its weaknesses. When does it work beautifully and when is it best to ignore it? It's the episode you can't miss if you want to start using the MACD effectively. If you found this journey into the fundamentals of the MACD insightful and valuable, I ask you to support us with 3 simple clicks. Hit the like button so this knowledge can reach more people, subscribe to our channel, and very importantly, ring that notification bell so you don't miss the second episode of the series. And finally, leave me a comment. Which component of the MACD did you find most interesting or surprising? The MACD line, the signal line, or the histogram? I'd love to read your answers. We are Money Talks US, and it's been a pleasure decoding this first chapter with you. I'll see you in the next video to learn how to use it.